I'm Sara Lauf. I'm from Jefferson City, Missouri, and I am not allowed to speak of the details that are involved in my case. If I do, I could face jail time.
Well, it's a pleasure having you here today, Sara.
Although I'm not able to give you the specifics involved in the wrongdoings in my court case, I am here as voice for children. My children, I have 2 daughters that have been neglected by our state system and been put in the hands of potential alleged abusers. I would like to see a change in this state to where we receive our funding for our CASA program and the children have advocates to have voices for them in the courtroom. My mission is to see that the judges receive the education that they need and deserve at this point. Actually, during the duration of my case, the guardian ad litem education had extended education, continuing education, had been revoked down to 8 hours versus the 12 hours they were required to have. Let alone that 12 hours isn't enough for a guardian ad litem to have to specialize to represent a child in court who is a victim of abuse. It was ceased down to minimal time. I know that there is significant talk of blaming judges and guardian ad litems involved in these cases. My viewpoint is that it comes from a larger source. I in no way blame the judge in my case at this point because I don't have any evidence to do that, but rather her lack of education and being able to see the documents that have been provided unaltered in front of her. Whenever a diagnosis of Munchausen's crosses the desk of a judge, she would be doing wrong by not removing that child from my care. The thing is, the judges don't have a background in psychology. They don't understand the diagnoses that are coming and that are addendums to this DSM-4, DSM-5 in August of 2013. The system does need to change, but we also need to have a brighter view of where the corruption is coming from. And it's easy to look at the person that's in front of us that's supposed to be representing our child, but a lot of people's hands are tied. And we need to get to the bottom for the sake of our children, my children, everybody's children. Do you need to ask me questions?
I want you to keep going because
That's very good.
it's too hard for me to ask you questions when you know what you can talk about. So we're just keeping the camera rolling and then you say whatever you want. I have my standard questions I ask everybody. I'll think through whether I can ask those.
Recently, I had to sign a judgment to secure visitation with my child. I previously was a stay-at-home mom. I worked part-time for our family business and in the meantime spent that time with my kids, their classroom parties, being a soccer mom. Basically, my life was devoted to my children. My husband, on the other hand, worked for a very large law firm. He was home minimally. We didn't have the best of relationships, and it took a lot of time. A year before I actually filed for divorce, we were in counseling, and those records have been never released to me. I can't even see my own counseling records. I have a hard time seeing my own psychological records. And standing today, there's actually diagnoses held in the courthouse here in Jeff City that have diagnoses of me that I'm not allowed to see or read. But they are a threat to me because my attorney can read them and she can tell me that this is what the psychologist has diagnosed of you, therefore you're risking visitation to be supervised and very minimal. So in my $800 that I make a month, I forwent any child support. I lost my house. I get to see my youngest daughter Thursday through Sunday, every other week unsupervised, which, sad to say, is a victory. We're starting from ground zero. We're going up. I have a 12-year-old daughter. He was brought into the case, and her father has abandoned her during this time and actually became part of the suit. No longer is, but she lost her dad, and for that reason we're unsure of what happened. My mission is to stand behind the children and make sure that they do have two healthy parents. I can say going into this I wanted to be the mom, and I didn't want dad so much involved. And that was before knowing if any type of abuse happened to my children. But dads are important, moms are important, they need to be there in their kids' life. If there is a problem with mom or dad, we need to see that they're rehabilitated properly and justly. Fairness is what we all need. We all need to be treated fair. We need to go back to the America that it was several years ago, what it was founded upon, what our father, my grandfathers, my great-grandfathers have fought for has been unjustly broken. And me and my daughters are here to make a change, and we've only grown stronger, and we're going to stand behind judges, good judges. We're going to stand behind good guardian ad litems, and we will advocate for the other kids, for the other moms and the other dads. And I've got a 12-year-old daughter who's just as gung-ho as I am, and she's helped me a lot during this whole process and getting to understand the importance of two parents, two good parents. You can ask me questions.